I still can't believe it. After everything I did for them, $50,000, and this is how you repay me? I can't keep the tremor out of my voice as I look at my parents across the table. Their cold gazes feel like daggers, like they've already made up their minds and I'm just in their way. You know how hard I worked to help you. I saved your damn business. My voice cracks, the frustration building. My father's voice is ice. It was a loan, Lena. You never deserved the inheritance. I blink. The betrayal is sharp, unexpected. But I gave you everything. I put my life on hold for you. And now you cut me out? Just like that? Enough, Lena, my mother snaps, not even looking up from her paperwork. We've already given you more than enough. More than enough? The years I spent in this house, trying to be something, someone, for them? It means nothing. How could you say that? I feel a burn in my chest, a knot of betrayal so tight I can hardly breathe. How can you just throw me away like this? My father shifts in his seat, clearly done with the conversation. You made your choice when you decided to save the business. You think we owe you something? I swallow, the lump in my throat almost choking me. I gave them everything, and they still want more. They always did. I didn't do it for your approval, I say, my words sharp and bitter. I did it because you needed help. Because I thought we were family. But I was wrong. My mother's eyes finally meet mine, but they're cold, calculating. We gave you a place, Lena, but you're not entitled to anything. I can't even respond. The hurt floods my chest, and I feel like I'm suffocating. This is it. I spent my whole life trying to earn their love, their respect. And for what? I stand up, my legs shaky, my heart in a vice. I guess I'm done here, I mutter, my voice hollow. I turn to leave, but I don't look back. I don't need to. I know what they're thinking. I'm just a disappointment to them, and maybe, just maybe, I've been a fool all this time. I try to focus on the present, but every time I close my eyes, the past rushes back. I remember being a little girl, sitting at the kitchen table, watching my parents argue about money again. I was always in the background, invisible, trying to shrink away from the noise. If you'd worked harder, my father would yell at my mother, his voice harsh and unforgiving, we wouldn't be in this mess. And my mother, always calm, always cold, would just sit there, hands folded neatly in her lap, looking at the floor. It's not just about the money, Greg, she'd say, voice clipped. It's about everything. Everything. But they never asked me what I thought. They never cared what I wanted or needed. I was just there, in the way, a bystander to their chaos. Why do you always do this? I asked one day, my voice trembling. I was only 8, but I knew something wasn't right. Why do you always fight? My mother's gaze flicked to me, sharp and dismissive. Don't speak unless spoken to, Lena. I shrank back, burying my head in my arms. Even as a child, I understood that I wasn't welcome. I wasn't the perfect child my parents wanted. Fast forward. I was a teenager, standing in the kitchen again, this time trying to explain that I'd gotten a C on my report card. It's just one class, I said, hands shaking as I held up the paper. I'll do better next time. But my father didn't care about my effort. A C? A C, Lena? How are you going to make something of yourself with that kind of grade? Your brother, he never had these issues. You've always been a disappointment. It stung, the words sticking to me like a heavy weight. I never measured up. Not to him, not to anyone. I could never be perfect enough. My brother was the golden child, the one they were proud of. He was everything they wanted in a kid. Smart, successful, popular. And me? I was just there, Theras. Years went by and the pattern stayed the same. No matter what I did, it was never enough. The harder I tried, the more they demanded. There was no gratitude, no praise. I started to feel like a ghost, walking through life, invisible to the people who were supposed to love me the most. "You need to do more, Lena," my mother would tell me after every failed attempt. "Stop being so lazy." Lazy? I was barely sleeping, barely eating, trying to juggle everything for a family that never saw me. It wasn't that I didn't try. It was that I wasn't what they wanted. I wasn't enough. I think back to the day I gave them the $50,000. I wanted them to be proud of me. I wanted them to see me for once. But now, sitting in this office, hearing them tell me that I never deserved anything, I understand. They never cared. They only cared about what I could do for them, what I could give them. And when I stopped being useful, I became invisible again. "You think I don't know how hard you tried?" I whisper to no one in particular. My voice catches in my throat, the weight of it all pressing down on me. But it was never enough, was it? I look back at my parents, sitting there so calm, so distant. They never really saw me. They never bothered to. And I realize, as I sit here now, that I've been chasing approval from people who would never give it to me. I tried to fill a void that would always be empty. My parents may have cut me out of their inheritance, but it's my own fault. I let them control me. I let them decide my worth. But not anymore. The rage burns hotter now, stronger than the sadness. I'm done being their ghost. I've been invisible for too long. I never imagined things would get this bad. But then again, I should have known better. I've always known what it's like to give and give and give until there's nothing left of me. "Mom, Dad, what's going on?" I asked them one night. I could feel the tension in the air before the words even left my mouth. My parents were sitting across from me, heads down, not saying much. The usual. It wasn't until I looked at their faces that I knew something was wrong. "We've hit a rough patch," my father said, avoiding my eyes. "A rough patch?" My voice broke before I could stop it. "What kind of patch are we talking about here? I can barely keep the business running on my own. What are you two doing?" "We've been doing our best, Lena," my mother muttered, her tone empty, like she was tired of pretending. "But it's not enough, not anymore." I clenched my fists. How had it gotten this bad? I had been so focused on everything else, trying to prove myself. But I knew deep down I couldn't ignore it any longer. "You're in debt, aren't you?" I asked, my throat tight. They both looked at each other before nodding, the weight of their admission sinking deep inside me. "How much?" I whispered, already dreading the answer. $50,000, my father said, his voice grim. "We can't pay it back, Lena. And if we don't," I cut him off, "then you lose everything." The reality of it hit me all at once. The business I'd grown up in, the one I'd worked so hard to save, was hanging by a thread, and I was the only one who could fix it. "You want me to help you, don't you?" My voice shook with the fear and frustration that had been building up inside me for so long. My mother didn't say anything for a while, and when she did, it was just one word. "Please." I knew what I had to do. I had to help them. They were my parents. They needed me. Even though every part of me screamed to walk away, I couldn't. I couldn't watch them lose everything. Not again. "Okay," I finally said, barely able to breathe. "I'll help." But I was terrified. My savings, my future, everything I'd worked for. It was all on the line. But none of that mattered. Not now. They needed me, and I couldn't turn my back on them. I transferred the $50,000 to their account. That same night, my heart pounded in my chest as I hit send, the reality of what I was doing crashing into me like a wave. My stomach twisted. Was this the right choice? Or was I just digging myself into a deeper hole? I told myself it was worth it. It had to be worth it. Weeks passed, and at first, things seemed to improve. The bills were paid. The business kept running. But then, slowly, the requests started coming in. Another $10,000, then $5,000, and suddenly, it was a never-ending cycle. "I need more, Lena," my father said one evening, his voice demanding. "The business can't survive without it. You have to help us. Help them. Again." My mind raced. More money? More sacrifices? What did they want from me? "I can't keep doing this," I said, my voice shaking. "I've given you everything I have." "Not enough," my mother snapped, her face hard. "You're going to have to do more. This is your family, Lena. What's a little more money between family? A little more? I had already given up so much for them, and now it was never enough." My stomach churned with guilt, frustration, and fear. They weren't asking for help. They were demanding it. But the worst part? I still couldn't say no. I couldn't walk away from them, even though it felt like they were draining me, piece by piece. Why couldn't I just say no? I was losing myself, losing my identity in their shadows, in their endless expectations. And with every dollar I handed over, with every request they made, I could feel something inside me snapping. "How much more?" I whispered to myself one night, alone in my apartment, staring at the empty space around me. How much more until it's just too much? I didn't have the answer, but I knew one thing. I was starting to break. The loyalty I'd given so freely, the love I thought would save me. It was destroying me. And I didn't know how much. Longer I could keep pretending that everything was okay. I don't know what I was expecting when I walked through that door. Maybe an apology, maybe a little understanding. But deep down, I knew the truth. It was never going to be that simple. "You really think I'm going to let you just walk out of here like this?" I demand, the anger building up inside me. I can feel my heart racing in my chest as I stare at my parents sitting across from me, their eyes cold, indifferent. My father doesn't even bother to look up from his papers. "Lena, you've made your point. Now, it's time to move on." I slam my hand down on the table. "Move on? Move. On? You—" I pause, taking a breath, trying to control the flood of emotions. "You're cutting me out of your inheritance after everything I've done for you?" My mother's eyes flick to me for a moment, but it's not a look of concern. It's a look of something darker, something I've never seen before. "You've done enough, Lena," she says coldly. "We don't owe you anything. You should have known that by now." I feel like the ground beneath me is crumbling. "I saved you." My voice cracks. "I gave you 50,000. I gave you everything. And this is how you repay me?" My mother shifts in her seat, her face unreadable. "You think we asked you for that money? You think we needed your help?" Her voice is sharper now, almost mocking. "No, Lena. You gave us that money because you wanted to. We never asked for it." I feel my blood run cold. The truth starts to sink in piece by piece until it's all I can see. "What are you saying?" "You're not special, Lena," my father says, his voice flat, emotionless. "We've always known that. You think the world revolves around you, that you deserve something more. But you're just like everyone else." His words sting, hitting me harder than anything I could have imagined. Just like everyone else. I thought I was different. I thought at least they would see that I was trying. But it turns out I was just another disappointment. I want to scream, to throw something, anything, to make them understand. But I don't. I just stand there, frozen, trying to make sense of what I'm hearing. My mother's gaze pierces through me. "You're a burden, Lena. You always have been. Everything you've done, everything you've given, it was never for us. It was for you, to make you feel important. The words hit me like a slap in the face, but there's no anger in them. No regret. Just the cold, ugly truth of how they've always seen me. I swallow hard, my throat tight. So, all this time, you never cared? All the sacrifices I made, none of it meant anything? My father finally looks at me, his eyes devoid of any warmth. You weren't ever a priority, Lena. It was always about your brother. It was always about the ones who actually mattered. Your brother. I can feel the bitter taste of those words on my tongue. It's not the first time they've said it, but hearing it now, here, in this moment, feels like a betrayal I never thought possible. I never mattered. You're not the daughter we wanted, my mother adds, her words cutting through me, like a blade. You're not the child we needed. We gave you everything we could, but we won't give you any more. I feel something inside me snap. The years I spent trying to earn their love, trying to make them proud, it meant nothing. I wasn't even a part of their plans. I was just a tool they used when it was convenient. I gave up my life for you. I shout, but my voice is shaking. And you never even... I stop, my breath coming in ragged gasps. I feel like I'm suffocating. You never even saw me, did you? My father leans back in his chair, arms crossed. It doesn't matter anymore, Lena. You're done. Done. The word echoes in my mind, and I can't stop the rush of emotions. The years of pretending, the years of fighting for something I couldn't have. I thought I could change things, I say, my voice barely above a whisper. But I was wrong. You were never going to change. You were always this way. You just hid it better. My mother sighs, standing up as if she's bored with the conversation. We've said enough. You're not welcome here anymore. That's it. Done. It's over. I can't believe it. They're done with me. I don't even have the energy to fight anymore. I turn on my heel, walking out of that room without looking back. I can't. The weight of their words is suffocating, and every step I take feels like a step further away from the person I thought I was. But as I leave, one thing becomes clear. They never saw me. They never cared. And I was stupid to think I could change that. I can't get the image of their faces out of my head, their cold, dismissive expressions, as if I were nothing more than an inconvenience. A burden, my mother said. A disappointment, my father implied. The sting of their words is still fresh, still burning in my chest. I sit in my small, dimly lit apartment, staring at the blank walls, but it feels like they're closing in on me. My hands are shaking, my mind racing. Revenge. The word tastes like acid on my tongue, but it's all I can think about. They think they've won, I mutter to myself, pacing back and forth. They think I'll just disappear. They think they can throw me away like nothing. But they're wrong. I stop, looking at the stack of papers in front of me. Bank statements, business documents, the contract my parents signed when they agreed to accept my help. They think I'm done, but I'm just getting started. They'll regret this, I whisper, clenching my fists. I'm done being the good daughter. I'm done being their sacrifice. They took everything I had. And now it's my turn. I know I should feel guilty. That little voice in my head keeps telling me that revenge isn't the answer, that I should move on, let karma handle it. But I don't care anymore. Karma's too slow. It's time for me to take control. I dial the number, my hands barely able to hold the phone. It rings once, twice, before the voice on the other end answers. I need your help, I say, my voice low and cold. I'm not asking for advice anymore. I need you to make sure they pay for what they've done. The voice on the other end agrees, but there's a part of me that hesitates. Just a moment. A flicker of doubt. But I push it down, deeper and deeper. I have to do this. I have to make them feel what they made me feel. As the conversation ends, I sit down again, my mind spinning. My thoughts aren't my own anymore. I'm consumed. My stomach churns as I think about the people I'm going to hurt. The people who were supposed to be my family. What's wrong with me? Why am I so desperate for this? I wanted their love, their approval. But now, I'm chasing something darker. The feeling of power, of control. I want them to suffer like I did. I want them to know what it feels like to be betrayed by the ones you love. My phone buzzes, pulling me from my thoughts. A text from my brother, Mark. You okay? I heard about what happened with Mom and Dad. You should come by, talk. I laugh bitterly. Talk? He's the last person I want to talk to. He's never been there for me. He's always been their favorite. Always been the one they looked to when they needed someone to show up. He never had to try. I was the one who tried. I was the one who always tried. I don't respond to his text. Instead, I focus on the papers, in front of me again, calculating the next step. But even as I plan, something nags at the back of my mind. Is this who I've become? Am I really this person? The person who is willing to destroy the family I've spent so long trying to fix? The weight of it all starts to sink in. What am I doing? This isn't justice. This is me becoming just like them. Like my father, who always used his power to control, who always blamed me for his failures. Like my mother, who never cared for anyone but herself. Is this really who I want to be? But then I remember their faces again, their cold eyes, their lack of remorse. And the anger flares up again. No, this isn't about them anymore. This is about me, about taking back what they stole from me. I stand up abruptly, shaking my head to clear the thoughts, but I can't. It's all I can think about. Revenge. Karma will never get them. It's too slow, too weak. I'll make sure they pay. I'll make them feel every bit of what they did to me. The thought sickens me, but it also excites me. It feels like the only way to regain control, the only way to make them realize how wrong they were. But as the hours stretch on, the weight of the plan starts to settle into my bones. I know what I'm doing, and I know where it's going. It's not just about revenge anymore. It's about me becoming someone I promised myself I would never be. But maybe that's who I really am. I never wanted to dig deeper. I should have known better. But I couldn't stop myself. The moment they told me I didn't matter, I had to know everything. It started with a pile of old letters. I found them tucked away in the back of the closet, buried under a stack of old books and photographs. It seemed innocent at first, just a few dusty papers that had been forgotten. But then I saw the names written on the top of the first letter. Greg and Lydia, my parents. Curiosity gnawed at me. I picked up the first one, the paper soft beneath my fingertips. And then, with trembling hands, I began to read. Lydia, I need you to understand that I'm doing this for us. For the family. The business is falling apart, and if we don't act now, we lose everything. My breath caught in my throat. The business. I had heard those words before. We lose everything. But this was different. The urgency, the desperation. It was there in every word. I kept reading. Each letter felt like another piece of a puzzle I didn't want to solve. I don't care if it's illegal, Greg. We need the money or we're done for. I've been doing what I need to do to keep us afloat. What? My mind raced, my pulse quickening. What was this? Illegal? My mother? I thought I knew her. But this was a different side of her. I could feel the blood rushing in my ears. I continued reading, my eyes scanning the pages faster now. Greg, you don't understand. This isn't just about money anymore. It's about survival. I've been seeing someone. I had to. You're gambling away everything we have. And if I don't find another way to keep this family afloat, we're going to drown. What? I stopped, my heart pounding in my chest. My mother? Had she been cheating on him? On us? It was like the world was crashing down around me, the foundation of everything I thought I knew shattering before my eyes. My mother? An affair? Dropped the letter, my hands shaking, and reached for the next one. I had to know. I couldn't stop now. It didn't get any better. In fact, it only got worse. I don't know how much longer I can keep this up, Lydia. The money's almost gone. We're in deep with people we can't get out of. I've done things, horrible things, things I can't take back. But I'll do whatever it takes to protect you. What the hell is he talking about? Gambling, money laundering, illegal things. These weren't just debts they owed. These were choices they made. Desperate, dangerous choices that put all of us at risk. Felt like I couldn't breathe. My throat tightened, and I had to fight the urge to throw up. The pieces were falling into place, and they were worse than I could have ever imagined. I sat down hard on the floor, clutching the letters in my hands. It wasn't just about me. It wasn't just that they betrayed me. They had betrayed themselves. The lies ran deeper than I could have ever guessed. The business problems, the financial struggles, everything I thought I understood about my parents' failures was all a cover-up. They had made their own bed, and now they were drowning in it. Lena? I heard a voice behind me and I flinched. My brother, Mark. He had been quiet for so long, but I could hear the concern in his voice. I didn't answer at first, trying to pull myself together. My mind was spinning. "What do you want?" I snapped, more harshly than I intended. Mark didn't flinch. I saw the letters. "What's going on?" "What's going on?" I repeated, almost laughing bitterly. "Mark, do you even know who they are? Do you know what they did? What we were living through?" Mark's eyes widened. "What are you talking about?" "The business, the money, the lies, all of it. They've been lying to us, Mark, for years. They didn't just struggle, they destroyed us." His expression shifted from confusion to disbelief. "No, that can't be true." "Oh, but it is," I said, holding up the letters for him to see. His face drained of color as he skimmed the pages. "I can't believe it either, but it's real. Everything was a lie. They put us in this position, and we never even knew." Mark dropped the papers like they burned him, stepping back. I don't know what to say. "You don't have to say anything," I said, standing up, my legs weak beneath me. "Because it doesn't matter. They're the ones who should have been honest, not me. I never wanted to know this, but I had to." I turned away, looking out the window, feeling the weight of everything crashing down on me. My parents' actions had shaped my entire life. Their lies, their choices, their selfishness, they weren't just things that happened. They were things that had defined me. I don't know what I expected to find when I looked for answers, but it wasn't this. It wasn't the truth that would break me more than their lies ever did. And now, I was left with a new question. Who am I knowing this? I don't know how long I've been sitting here. The silence is overwhelming, a heavy weight that presses down on my chest. Every time I close my eyes, I see their faces, the cold indifference in my father's eyes, the contempt in my mother's voice. Betrayal. That's all I can think of now. Betrayal, and all the lies that have shaped my life. My phone buzzes, but I don't pick it up. I can't bring myself to. I haven't responded to anyone for days. Not Mark, not Sarah, not anyone. I can't face them. How can I explain what I've learned? How can I tell them that everything I thought I knew about my parents, about my life, was a lie? What have I become? Lena? It's Mark. His voice cracks through my thoughts, but I don't pick up. I can't do it. I can't let him see me like this. I don't know if I can stand to look at him either. I don't know if I can stand to look at anyone. I throw my phone across the room, then bury my face in my hands. What's left of me? What do I even want anymore? Everything is falling apart, and I don't know how to hold it all together. The truth about my parents, about them, it's like poison in my veins. I can feel it coursing through me, making everything darker, harder to breathe. I gave them everything. Everything. And for what? To be thrown away? To be told I was nothing. But a burden? I could have walked away, but I didn't. I thought if I kept giving, they'd finally see me. But they didn't. They never did. God, I feel so stupid. I close my eyes, trying to push the thoughts away, but they just keep coming, crashing into me. My father's voice echoes in my mind, cold and indifferent. You were never a priority, Lena. Never a priority. What does that even mean? I gave up everything for them, and now I'm left here, alone, questioning everything I've ever believed. The worst part? I still want them to love me. I still want to fix things, like I always have. It's pathetic, Lena. Mark's voice again. I finally pick up, not caring about anything anymore. What? I snap, but it's weak. I can feel the tears threatening to fall, but I won't let them. Not now. Not like this. Where are you? You're scaring me, Mark says, his voice tight, worried. Don't worry about me, I say, though my throat is thick with emotion. I'm fine. Just leave me alone for a while, okay? I hang up before he can say anything else. My hands are shaking as I set the phone down. Leave me alone. I don't want to talk to anyone. I don't want to hear their pity. I don't want to hear how I should forgive them. But maybe that's what's eating at me. Maybe that's the real question. Do I forgive them? Do I confront them and try to make sense of this mess they've made of my life? Or do I just let it go? Let karma handle them? I can't. I can't. Let go. I can't just walk away. Because if I do, then what does that say about me? What does it say about my whole life? I take a deep breath, but it doesn't help. Nothing helps. It's like I'm sinking, spiraling down into this black hole, where nothing makes sense anymore. The world is spinning, and I can't find my place in it. I'll show them, I whisper, my voice hoarse. I'll show them everything they've done to me. But as soon as the words leave my mouth, I'm not sure I even believe them. Maybe it's not about them anymore. Maybe it's about me. But I don't know who I am anymore. The abyss is swallowing me whole. I can feel it, and I can't stop myself from falling deeper. I've spent so long pretending that everything was fine, pretending that I didn't care about their rejection. But not anymore. Today, I'm not the girl who craves their approval. Today, I'm demanding answers, and they're going to give them to me. I walk into their house, my childhood home, my feet heavy on the floor as if the weight of years of silence is dragging me down. I've rehearsed this moment in my mind 1,000 times, but it feels different now. I'm not here to beg. I'm here to make them listen. Lena, what are you doing here? My mother's voice cuts through the tension the moment I step into the living room. She doesn't even look up from the book she's holding. I can feel the coldness radiating from her like a wall between us. I'm here to talk, I say, my voice steady, but the anger bubbling inside me is just beneath the surface. I'm here because I'm done pretending. My father looks up, from his newspaper, his eyes narrowing. Talk about what? About everything, I reply, taking a deep breath. About all the lies, the manipulation, and how you've treated me my entire life. They exchange a glance, that same dismissive look they've always shared when they didn't want to deal with me. Not anymore. Lena, this isn't the time. My mother starts, but I cut her off, my voice rising. No, you listen. You've been tearing me apart my entire life, and I've had enough. My chest tightens as I speak. the words coming out, faster now. You never cared. You never once saw me as anything but a tool to get what you wanted. They both freeze, the silence deafening. My heart pounds, but I don't back down. I won't. You think I don't know what you did? I continue, the fury building inside me. I found the letters. I found out what you were really doing. What you both were really doing. You didn't need me. You didn't care about me. You just wanted me to fix your mess. You used me like you used everyone else. My mother's face pales, and for a moment, I think I see a flicker of something. Guilt. But it's gone so quickly I wonder if I imagined it. Lena, my father says, his voice flat and defensive, you have no idea what we went through. Oh, I think I do, I snap, taking a step toward him. You lied. You gambled everything. Away. And my mother… I pause, my throat tight. She had an affair, didn't she? You've been lying to us all for years, and now you have the audacity to pretend like none of it matters. They don't say anything for a long time. My mother doesn't even look at me now, her eyes fixed on the floor, her hands trembling slightly. My father, however, stares me down with that cold, calculating gaze I've always hated. You don't understand, Lena, he says finally, his voice low but full of anger. We did what we had to do. You wouldn't understand the pressure. We were under. The business, the debt. Everything was falling apart. We had no choice. I laugh bitterly, shaking my head. No choice? You had choices. You chose to destroy us. To destroy me. My mother finally looks up at me, her eyes empty. You're so dramatic, Lena. You always were. You think we wanted any of this? It was never about you. It was about survival. Feel my breath catch in my chest. You think it wasn't about me? You think I didn't sacrifice everything? I gave you everything. And you couldn't even show me a shred of kindness. Not once. My heart is pounding so hard now that I can barely hear my own voice, but I keep going. You've never seen me, have you? You never cared about me. You just wanted me to be perfect, to fix everything. And when I wasn't enough, you threw me away. And now, after everything I've done, you're cutting me out of your inheritance? They both look at me as though I've lost my mind. You're acting like a child, Lena, my father says, his tone dripping with condescension. A child? I seethe, my voice shaking. I've been a child for too long. I've been living in your shadows, trying to earn your love, your approval. But I was never enough. I never will be. For a moment, there's a crack in their facade. My mother's face softens just a little, but it's fleeting, gone in an instant. Lena, please, you're just… No! I shout, stepping back, my fists clenched at my sides. I'm not going to beg anymore. I'm not going to try and fix what's broken between us. You don't get to decide who I am. I'm done. I feel it then, a rush of power, not from anger but from something deeper. Something I've never felt before. Freedom. I turn toward the door, and before I leave, I take one last look at them. You'll never see me again, I say, my voice steady, my heart still racing but filled with clarity. And I don't need your inheritance. I never did. The door slams behind me as I walk out, and for the first time in my life, I don't look back. I stand in the empty hallway, the cold air pressing against me, but it doesn't feel like relief. I should feel free, right? After everything I said, everything I finally admitted, why does it feel like there's a hole inside me? I'm not sure how long I've been standing here, but the sound of my phone buzzing drags me back to the moment. I glance down at the screen. Mark. I can't talk to him right now. I hit ignore and shove the phone in my pocket. I don't want to deal with anyone. Not after what happened, after everything I said. But even as I walk away, a part of me wonders, was that enough? I find myself in the kitchen, staring at the empty table where my parents used to sit. Where I used to sit, waiting for them to say something, anything, that made me feel like I mattered. That I wasn't just a tool to fix their problems. But that's all I've been. A tool. And now, the silence that fills the space feels deafening. I take a deep breath and sit down. My hands shake as I press them to the table. Is this it? My mind flashes back to the confrontation, the words, the raw truth I finally said out loud. You were never a priority, my father's voice rings in my ears. That cold, empty gaze, the way he shut down every time I tried to reach him. I gave everything for you. Enough, Lena. My mother's voice too, sharp and dismissive. You're just being dramatic. You don't understand what we had to do. I can still feel the sting of those words. They made me feel so small, like none of the years of sacrifice or effort mattered. I thought they would see me. But I was wrong. But I also felt something else in that moment. Something I hadn't expected. A strange sense of relief. I lean back in the chair, running my hands over my face. I'm not sure if I feel better, but I know I'm different. There's no going back. I said what needed to be said, and it did feel like I was setting something free inside of me. I wasn't looking for answers anymore. I wasn't waiting for their love. I wasn't chasing after something that wasn't meant to be. But as the realization hits, I can't help but wonder, what now? I reach for my phone again, finally unlocking it. A few messages from Mark. The text from Sarah still sits at the top, and by, here for you, whenever you're ready to talk. I won't leave you. I stare at her words. She never left me, not even when I pushed everyone away. She was there. She always was. But now, I'm the one who has to change. I have to let go of this anger, this need for vengeance. It's not going to fix anything. I wish it could. A deep breath escapes me as I text back. I need some space, but thank you. Mark's message pops up again. Please call me. We need to talk about this. I don't reply. What is there to say? They're my parents. I can't just forget what happened, but I also can't keep holding on to the rage. I have to move forward somehow. But how? I'll figure it out, I whisper to the empty kitchen. I'm tired of trying to fix what can't be fixed. I'm tired of wanting something I'll never get. I look around the house, the memories swirling, around me like dust in the air. The laughter, the arguments, the endless disappointment. It's all a part of me now. I can't erase it, but I don't have to let it control me anymore. A wave of exhaustion washes over me. It's over. I stand up, taking one last look around before walking toward the door. I'm leaving behind the person who spent her life chasing approval, and I'm not sure who I'm going to be next. But for the first time in my life, I don't feel like I'm lost anymore. I'm found. It's a slow journey, but I'm ready to take the first step. The wind feels different today, lighter somehow. Maybe it's the fact that I finally walked away. I didn't think I could do it, but I did. I left the past behind, not because I don't care about it, but because it was suffocating me. I sit at the bus stop, my backpack heavy on my shoulders, my mind quiet for the first time in weeks. The sun is setting, casting long shadows, and, for the first time in so long, I don't feel like I'm stuck in a dark corner. I'm free. I just don't know what comes next. My phone buzzes in my pocket. I pull it out, already knowing it's from Sarah. I'm so proud of you. Whenever you're ready to talk, I'm here. I stare at the message, a small smile tugging at my lips. It's been a long time since I've allowed myself to feel like I deserve someone's support. But Sarah's been there, even when I pushed everyone away. I've been so wrapped up in my pain that I almost forgot that there are people who actually care about me. I type a response. Thank you. I'll be in touch soon. Then I close the message and take a deep breath. I'm done asking for validation. Done seeking approval from the people who never saw me. I've spent so much of my life trying to fit into their mold, trying to be what they wanted. But not anymore. I've learned something that I never thought I'd understand. The only person who has to accept me is me. Lena? Mark's voice calls out from behind me, and I freeze. I turn slowly, heart pounding in my chest. There he is, standing there with that worried look on his face, his brow furrowed, like he's expecting me to fall apart. But I don't. I don't need him to fix me anymore. Mark, I say, my voice steady. What are you doing here? I needed to talk to you, he says, taking a cautious step forward. I'm worried. You've been pushing everyone away. I laugh softly, shaking my head. You're right. I have. But I'm done, Mark. I'm done pretending. I'm not your little sister anymore, the one who needs to be fixed. I'm not who they made me to be. I'm not broken. He looks at me, confusion still in his eyes. But you are broken, Lena. I've seen it. I know you've been hurt, but... I cut him off, my voice firm. I know. I've been hurt. But I'm not broken anymore. I'm finally choosing me. He opens his mouth, like he wants to argue, but then he closes it, looking at me with something between disbelief and awe. I don't know what to say. You don't have to say anything, I reply, smiling faintly. I've said enough, and I'm done talking about them. I've got my own life now. I turn away, feeling lighter than I've felt in years. The weight of the past is no longer crushing me, and the future isn't something to be afraid of anymore. It's something I get to shape, something I get to own. Mark calls after me, but I don't turn back. Lena, wait. I'm not waiting anymore, Mark, I say over my shoulder. I'm going forward. That's all I can do now. I keep walking, the street stretching out before me, filled with possibilities I never allowed myself to see. And with each step, I feel stronger. I don't need to chase after anyone or anything anymore. I don't need to explain myself. I just need to be. As I turn the corner, I feel a sense of peace wash over me. I'm not sure where I'm going yet, but for the first time, I'm not afraid of the journey.